Lucas says, what's the advantage of holding your crypto in a wallet, e.g. Metamask, versus on an exchange? Okay, let's dive into this one. The crypto is always, it's on the blockchain, right? It's never on Coinbase, it's never on MetaMask, right? These are the things you're using to interact with it. I want to clear that up. But this goes back to the old Bitcoin adage, right? Not your keys, not your coins. And so ultimately, the advantage of it is that the security of it is up to you, and the usage of it, the transferring of it from one place to another, all that good stuff is up to you. When your keys are held in a wallet that you don't control, for instance, on a centralized exchange, you are now beholden to just any bad, powerful people within the company that can get a hold of it, or any, phishing scam sent to a random employee in there can now cost you your coins. And, that's getting like within the legal sphere or whatever. Then if you want to step back, you also have the thing where now we have a lot of jurisdictions and governmental agencies that are going, we're going to confiscate this. And, you can be for or against laws, all that, whatever. I don't want to get into that. But ultimately, when you have them in those places, they are subject to those laws, and the governments can yank it from you. Whereas, again, if you are the only one that is actually able to use your coins because you're having it on MetaMask, so to speak, in a wallet that only you control, ultimately, people need to torture you for your seed phrase to get it from you. Now, definitely, there is a sense that certain people who are just not technologically savvy enough, the risk is probably greater that you're going to lose access to your stuff if you're doing self-custody versus having it on a centralized exchange. So it's not only better to do self-custody, but that's sort of the benefit, is that you don't have to worry about somebody else up in any way, legally or non-legally, and having your stuff get lost.
Yeah. There's been sort of like a bunch of instances over the years where centralized exchanges get hacked, or they themselves rug pull and run away with people's monies because they have access. They have custody of the funds. And so if something goes wrong, you have very little recourse. And that's like, yeah. And there's like minor little things, or like somewhat minor, in the form that these centralized exchanges have to be, basically they have to adhere to certain regulations. And again, for better or worse, you can agree or disagree, but I know so many people who say, I'm trying to buy something, but my ETH is in Coinbase and they won't let me withdraw it for 7 days, or I can only withdraw $2,000 worth or something. Whereas if it's in your MetaMask, if it's in a hard, like wherever it is, your own self-custody wallet, you can do whatever you want with it at any single time. The risk and the downside, as you mentioned, is if you lose access to your personal wallet, your MetaMask, your seed phrase, like let's say your house burns down, you didn't have a copy saved somewhere else, you have no way of accessing it. It's gone. It's just absolutely gone. With centralized exchanges, there's usually some way of verifying identity.
I forgot my password.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And then you can get back in. So it's definitely a trade-off, it's just a trade-off. Yeah.
I wanted to go back to what you were saying about centralized exchanges being hacked. That's just another thing where ultimately they're a much bigger target. So if you have some funds that are in Coinbase and that's in a wallet that controls $90 million worth or whatever, a hacker can use a much larger amount of effort, time, and resources to try and get access to that than they ever would trying to individually target your $7,000 that you have. That's just a minuscule part of that bigger Coinbase wallet. So, again, it's a lot about pros and cons in terms of security.